Y'all ready? Y'all feeling all right?
What's that sound?
It's a hip-hop Cloverleaf podcast.
Hip-hop Cloverleaf.
What up? Let's go!
Cloverleaf podcast.
Thank you for tonight. Yes.
You are now listening to the Hip-hop Cloverleaf podcast.
What up, what up, what up? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. And welcome back to the Hip Hop Cloverleaf podcast. We're your hosts. It's your boy O.
And my name's EC.
In today's episode, we got Question of the Day. Then we got a hip hop discussion. Our Mixtapes Dead. And last, we got Sleeperz Mixtapes edition. Keep it locked, y'all. This is Hip Hop Cloverleaf. What up, what up, what up, what up? What up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hip Hop Cloverleaf podcast. 4 leaves, 4 elements. Y'all know the drill. What's good, EC?
What's up, man? How
Bro.
you doing today?
Excellent, man. You know the vibes. It's always good when I'm here in the studio with you. We got a great discussion.
Yes,
we got
sir.
episode 19. We
Yes,
ready
sir.
to go. So to kick off the episode, we got Question of the Day. The question of the day is...
What is the question, bro?
What album can you listen to straight with no skips? But before we give our answers, we asked it on our Instagram, and we got a lot of responses. So shout out JCLA, shout out Suave Blends, J Lopez, Senor Garcia 98, Vix Cloudx, Sydney Bass, Rosie's Good, your boy Moy, Novocaine BBB, Tony Veggies, Eber, Rookie J, and Michael J. Tay for answering. Man, we appreciate you guys. We love seeing like your guys' thoughts on this, and I mean they had some great responses. To Pimp a Butterfly,
some good takes, man.
To Pimp a Butterfly was number 1, and absolutely agree 100%. No skips needed. I feel like that one's like a story.
Do you really though? You don't skip it?
I don't like to skip it. I don't like to skip
Any
it.
song on
I feel
Pimp a
like when I listen to it, I feel like it's a book, and I can't just read one chapter. I have to go through the whole thing.
A lot of people... that was a surprise to me because I think a lot of people don't feel that same way about that album.
I used to not, but that was before I actually listened. I was just hearing it. I wasn't listening. So now when I see it, like I have to go back and listen to everything.
It's definitely a crazy album.
Damn was another one. Agreed.
Yeah.
Would you say the same?
Yeah, I definitely agree on that one.
All Eyes on Me, easily like
agree.
No,
But you know what?
skips needed.
I think there's one song on there that
I know what you're talking about. What's your phone number? And I think everybody feels it's
that's the one
it's just different. You know what I mean? Like it's
It's funny how you knew that.
I think everybody knows that.
So for me, it's not a completely non-skip, but I mean that's 2 out of 2 albums.
Yeah,
Only one skip.
That's pretty good. I would say that qualifies.
Yeah.
Music and Me by Nate Dogg. That was sent in by Rosie's Good. Those, I mean, I haven't listened to it.
I honestly haven't listened to the album.
But you know what? Just because of that, I'm
not gonna lie here.
Yeah. 2014 Forest Hills Drive was another one.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that one?
I don't skip one song. I mean, except like the intro, maybe the intro, like you know how there's like the intro.
Yeah, I still listen to it. I mean, I think it really.
But the intro track is amazing. January 28th.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
It gets me. You know what? Okay, there's songs that I have to listen to either before or after it comes on. That's one of them. So when I hear January 28th, I always put on the intro before it to get me into that space. You know, it might take...
intro's fucking crazy.
It takes an extra 2 minutes, maybe 3, depending on the song. But to me, like, I can't have one without the other. Another one that I do that with, shoot, I was thinking about it all day, and now that I'm here, I can't do it. What's the Kendrick one? It's better come up fucking oldies, man. You killing my motherfucking vibe. And then it comes in.
Yeah, that's Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe.
Yeah, but there was a song before that.
Which one is it?
I can't even think of it.
I can't think of it right now.
But the other one too, it's on 21 Savage's Savage Mode 2. It's the Drake song. what is it called? What is it? Turn your phone off. Take your clothes off. But the song after that, like it transitions to like this dope R&B song. It's sick, and it's just the transitions that get me, dude.
Yeah,
like I
transitions are dope.
can't mix one without the other.
Yeah,
1999 by Joey Badass is on here. That was some.
That's a sleeper
Yeah.
mixtape for me.
I think a lot of people don't know it and need to check that one out.
Yeah, that one. I think that was like the first time I heard Joey Badass. That's a dope ass fucking.
Mad Villainy.
Yeah,
You listen to MF Doom?
yeah, I have
Yeah.
before. I don't listen to him a lot, like continuously, but I have listened. I've listened to that album. I wouldn't say it for me is I play the whole thing. I've only listened to it a couple times, honestly. But damn, he definitely has bars. He's a crazy artist to me. He's interesting. He's
Right.
Interesting. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
The
rest in
documentary, the first one. Agreed. Non-skip.
Yeah, definitely. I
Word of-
think even I think everything. I play all of it.
Word of Mouth by Ludacris. That was a really good one. I think there's a lot of songs on there that aren't like appreciated as much, and I think people should go back and listen to that one too. The Chronic. That was a surprise for me.
Really?
Yeah, because I was thinking 2001. I'm thinking that's a non-skip. The Chronic, that one, like I said, I think I skip a couple songs on that.
On the Chronic.
I'm
trying to
there's something that like I just don't interest me as much. But however, 2001, I think that's a different story. I don't
That
skip
one's
2001.
for sure. Not
That's a front to back. Into the Wu-Tang. I think Suave Blends.
Oh yeah,
Suave Blends.
that was a good. I'm glad someone said that one.
Yeah.
That one's fucking dope.
Good Kid, Mad City. Easily non-skip.
Yeah, easy.
Man on the Moon 3. That was an interesting one. I would say 2 for sure is non-skip. 3, I don't think I've given it enough opportunity to say it's a non-skip for me.
Oh,
That's just
3
me.
is not. I think. Wow, I really thought about that one when I saw it, and I think all 3 Man on the Moons for me is non-skip. It did. That's how good they are for me.
I agree. Illmatic by who other than Nas? That was a good one too. Doggy Style by Snoop, and then lastly Sydney Bass. She threw in Good News by Meg Thee Stallion. And I haven't listened to it yet, so I can't say it's a non-skip.
I've listened to a few songs on there.
Yeah?
And she could rap, dude.
She could rap?
But I wouldn't. No, I'd definitely
Say it's
skip a lot of
non-skip.
songs.
Well, okay. What about you? Out of this list, is there anything that you think is missing, like non-skip?
Oh, there's
wise?
a lot. I think there's a lot. I just can't think off the top of my head, but let me see. Let me try though.
I was surprised nobody said Take Care.
Take Care. Oh yeah, that's
I was
definitely
surprised
one for
nobody
me.
said that.
Yeah, Take Care. I think even Nothing Was the Same for me. I'm trying to think of more Kendrick.
For me, I think I think some more J. Cole's is missing in there. 2014 Forest Hills Drive was said, but I also think the Sideline Story for me.
What about the game? What's Doctor's Advocate? Is there skips on there for you?
I don't have the whole track list in front of me.
Yeah,
but I think if I did, I would say it's a non-skip. I would say for the continuing the same thing with the game, or excuse me, the game I think has a couple non-skips. I think the documentary 2 for me was a non-skip. I think that one. I don't know. I have ties to that one. I really like it.
2.5 I think is even crazier.
It's just extra, the little bit extra.
Yeah. Shout out to all you guys participating in this, answering
Appreciate
questions. I like your guys' taste, really do. We'll continue to keep asking questions. Like that, man.
Make sure you add us at HH Cloverleaf on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Facebook. All right, let's get into the question for today.
Yes.
Or the discussion of today.
Hip-hop discussion for today. And the question is, are mixtapes dead? What are your thoughts on that? Just off tops, real quick. Are mixtapes dead?
Yes, they are.
They're dead?
They're dead.
I don't think they are.
You don't think they're dead?
I don't think they're dead.
How do you not think they're dead?
They're okay. I just think...
Who's putting out mixtapes right now?
I think there's a lot of mixtapes that just we don't see. Just because the artists...
They're not mixtapes. They're albums.
Okay, on Dat Piff...
Oh.
Bro, there's stuff dropping every day.
Yes, but those same albums are on Apple. That's not a mixtape.
So just because they're on Apple means it's
Yes,
not a
exactly.
mixtape.
That's exactly why it's not
Well,
a mixtape.
let me read to you what a mixtape is. I got
Yes,
the definition.
please read-
I have the
please read the
definition of a
definition.
mixtape.
Yes.
A mixtape is a compilation of music, typically from multiple sources, and recorded onto a medium. In hip hop and R&B culture, a mixtape often describes a self-produced or independently released album issued free of charge to gain publicity and avoid possible copyright infringement.
Hey, can you read that? That's that last free of charge.
Free of charge. Okay, I see what you're saying there with Apple
Exactly,
Music.
exactly.
But does that fifth charge? I just feel like there's ways to get around it. Listen, man, listen. Okay. That's tough because if it is on Apple Music and Spotify, yes,
That's
like
not a mixtape.
You're paying for it, but I think just it's the idea behind it. So you say mixtapes are dead.
I'm gonna
say
give you
they're
some
supplement.
examples, but first,
Okay.
you got some things to say.
Okay. So in other words, mixtapes cannot be sold according to the law. And a lot of people were arrested for selling them. It does like mixtapes aren't the physical copies aren't there anymore. Everything is now streaming. So now we have websites we can go to where we can find these mixtapes and do that. What's it called? And I think that's like one aspect for me when it comes to hip hop is the fact that like hip hop is always breaking the rules. You know what I mean? Like it's always breaking barriers, and I feel like that's something that people gravitate to, and I feel like that's a part of hip hop culture. So when mixtapes first came out, really how mixtapes started was like in the early 90s. DJs, and that's how DJs got their names out. There wasn't really any rappers putting out mixtapes in the early 90s. It was all for DJs. So what DJs would do, they would grab singles, they would grab songs that aren't really like too well known, and they would put them together on these mixtapes. And these mixtapes were like the radio for hip hop. Before hip hop had even hit the airwaves, this is where you got your music from. Unless you want to be listening to the things that were going on the radio, it wasn't that hip hop that people wanted. So buying mixtapes out of people's trunks or tents on Canal Street in Manhattan, that was like the way to go. That's how people heard new music. That was how mixtapes were first released.
Man, I wish I was in that era,
Dude.
and like in New York in that area. In that era.
I could just imagine like just all these tapes all over, and like you know what I mean? Like you don't have a preview of it. You just have to buy it, take it to your car, and listen to it. And if it's hot, you know what I mean? Like that's how you decide. Now
we've never been to New York, right? But I've seen documentaries, hip hop documentaries, all kinds of stuff. It's dope. Like I've seen Canal Street and how it looks and how like people be out there selling like back in the day, right? The mixtapes. It's dope. Like that whole environment, it's like part of the hip hop culture for sure.
Yes. You know who started mixtapes?
No, I don't.
DJ Kool Herc.
Oh, okay.
I found that
makes
out.
sense.
DJ Kool Herc started mixtapes. So I remember like the very first episode, if you remember, we were talking about DJ Kool Herc digging through the crates and looking for sounds and stuff like that. He was the first one to do that, and then also, you know what I mean, like also put that into a physical tape, and then give it to people. Like that's how it started, and then it just kind of grew from there. And what made this even better, like you were talking about how crazy it would have been to be there and how cool it would be to see all this. What makes this even better is that the artists who sung like the lesser known songs. So if the DJs were to take like a single, a radio hit, and they put it in with a lesser known song, the artists that sang that lesser known song would also get recognition when these DJs would put stuff out. So when they put their name out on these mixtapes, people would go buy their records and buy their albums. So everybody was winning. The DJs were making hot mixtapes. The artists that were not as known were getting put on. Other people were buying the albums, so they were eating. And then the consumer, the person who's buying it, has this dope music. So they're, you know what I mean? They're like, it's like getting put on the music before anybody. So I mean, like, so if you had a dope mixtape, whoa, like, where's this song from? Oh, bro, it's the Funk Master Flex mixtape. Why you got that? Where'd you get that? You know what I mean? Like, it just creates that hype, and it's so much different now. But I think this is like the roots, and this is what gets me excited to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So being on a mixtape, especially like having a feature on a mixtape was really like your career is like about to take off, because these famous DJs are like putting your stuff out. You know what I mean? Like they're putting you on.
That was like the Instagram of back in the day.
Pretty much, yeah. Some of the most famous DJs back in the early 90s were Funkmaster Flex, who's now a radio host, Kid Capri, Ron G,
Flex, baby.
Chill Will, DJ Clue, DJ Who Kid. Like all these guys were big time. So if your name, if you were an artist and you were going to put on there, like, bro, I made it. And oftentimes, like when people were getting put on these mixtapes, it led to record deals, because record labels and DJs were kind of like going hand in hand. Like if you give me the hot stuff, we're always looking for talent. And if we know the best DJs are putting out the best sound, that's what we're going to go after. So that was cool.
I love like artists, like the new school artists that put like the old school elements into it, like the mixtapes. Like an example is "Damn" by Kendrick Lamar. He put Kid Capri all over it. You know what he says on on "Damn." Yeah, it's fucking dope.
What is it? Y'all already know what happens on Earth stays on Earth. Here we go. Like, dude, that's all so cool.
That's real cool.
Funk Flex, baby.
Yeah,
like, I like all that.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's like the MCing and DJing mixed together, and that's just the element of hip hop that will never go away. And I think when artists, like you said, when artists do that, I think the appreciation for the music just goes.
Yeah, they're
up
keeping like
more.
the essence of hip hop alive, which is, I think, is dope, man.
So DJs would get the credit, like I was mentioning, for putting out dope mixtapes. Everybody was winning, right? And then the people who were selling the mixtapes, like for those tents and on Canal Street, they were also getting money too. So you know what I mean? Like everybody was winning, so why not do it? But the thing is, it wasn't legal.
Just don't get
so
caught.
Just don't get caught. That was the thing. And like early on when mixtapes were first being put out, it wasn't too big of an issue. But then when mixtapes got bigger and big labels started seeing a decline in sales because of mixtapes, that's when they shut it down. So that's kind of how like the fall of mixtapes happened, like physical copies, and then it later transitioned into streaming and getting music from LimeWire and stuff, all the viruses from LimeWire.
Yeah.
But the tide, before that happened, the tide really turned from mixtapes being a DJ thing into becoming like a rapper's niche. And that's when 50 Cent came on the scene.
50.
Wow.
Jesus.
Like if y'all don't know 50 Cent, so let me tell you.
50 mixtape era?
Insane. Like if you think 50 Cent and Dr. Dre like in the club, PIMP, that era was crazy. Let's go back into the mixtape days. Yes. So when 50 got on mixtapes, it was a different sound, because normally when people heard mixtapes, it was all about like the DJ scratches, like sound effects and crowds being in there, or like in the mixtapes. But now it was just 50 rapping. Like it was just straight bars, and this is like the first time anybody had ever done that. And then what really helped 50 take off is the stuff that he was rapping about. He was already known. He had a reputation of being like that bad kid. He actually got arrested in high school for bringing a gun to school. So this guy like just straight off the bat just did not give a fuck. And the trend continued when he came out with this song called How to Rob, which was a record where he came out rapping about robbing other rappers who were like still in the game and still like active.
For the top notch rappers.
Yeah, so he was coming for rappers' heads, and like everyone was like, "What? Like, what did he just say? Who's gonna rob Big Pun? Like, what?" So, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people didn't really know how to feel about that, but they knew that something was happening, and with that comes some repercussions, right? So if you're talking about killing people and robbing people, something's gonna happen, especially in New York. In that time, in that era, like what I mean, like you got to be ready for that, and that kind of gets me like thinking, like that's how people do now, but it's just a little bit different now. I feel like it's a lot less physical altercations, and it's more like Twitter fingers back and forth at each other. So it's a little a little safer, if you will, but which kind of sucks, but that's just how it is.
Nah, that 50 era mixtape was crazy. He was just knocking them out, killing everything he touched. On mixtapes, he'd go on different beats, everybody's beats. He'd kill that shit, and then eventually that's what got him signed to Eminem.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows the story about how 50 got shot 9 times.
Yeah.
So when that happened, nobody wanted to sign 50. Like, well, first of all, this guy came back pretty much from the dead. Like, getting shot 9 times, bro. I don't even know if I get shot once.
He got shot in the face a couple times, I think.
Right. I think he got shot in the jaw, and I think that's why he has the little... that you can't open his mouth, what I'm saying? Something like that. But what's crazy is he linked up with Shy Money XL, who is a music producer, and DJ Who Kid, and they put out a mixtape together. And the crazy shit is, dude, like 50 was getting on other rappers' songs, like he was using their beats and making this shit hotter than their music. And everybody was just like, what? Like, what? This guy just beat like, oh, I couldn't imagine being a rapper and then having some guy who got shot 9 times. Yeah, and then he just kills your song.
Kills you and dissing you and shit and all that shit.
So like that blew up, and then that's kind of what eventually led to him getting to deal with Dr. Dre, and the rest is history after that. So 50 really changed the game. Like, that was the first person to do it. And then mixtape rappers, that's like that. Mixtapes became the way rappers, like that was a new path. That wasn't like the normal, getting signed by a label was kind of like the normal thing. But then after mixtapes, now it's like you don't even need a label to get signed like that. So a lot of rappers, that's how they started coming up. Rappers like T.I. and Lil Wayne started out with like the physical copy mixtapes, but I'm thinking like even now, maybe not now, but like the artists that are big now, they also started with mixtape. And it's crazy, like the evolution of music, starting with records and CDs and cassettes, MP3 files, LimeWire and streaming stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So I'm super grateful that now we're able to get music pretty much anytime we want.
I'm talking about cassettes. I just got a new car, or a new older car, and it has a cassette tape in there, and I just bought a cassette, the aux thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Nobody has cassettes anymore.
Lately, a lot of rappers like Chance the Rapper, A$AP Rocky, Wiz Khalifa, J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake, their music careers started out because of these mixtapes. And personally, like, I feel like mixtapes bring out the best in artists. That's my take. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And that's the reason I wish mixtapes would be a thing again.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, what about like stuff like SoundCloud? Like, that's free.
Yeah.
Like, you can put out bodies of work on different platforms that...
Yeah, and we've seen rappers get big off that. All the Lils get out. That's how they got popping.
Right. So mixtapes aren't dead.
But that's not a mixtape. How's that a mixtape?
Okay.
Mixtapes are dead. Dead. So, all right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Mixtapes are dead. So what, in 2021, what is a mixtape?
I think for 2021, I think it's just really any body of work that, whether it's 4 or 5 songs to 20
That's
songs.
That's an EP.
Well, like I said, to 20. I don't think it's. I don't think you can call it an album
though. If it goes on Apple,
what if it's not on Apple?
It goes on Spotify.
Okay, what if it goes on SoundCloud? That's free.
Okay, that's just free music on SoundCloud. That's not really a mixtape. Okay, because look, think back, the newest mixtapes that I can think of that have been called the mixtapes are like the Chance 3, that album. I forget what that album's called. Or see, that's what I'm saying.
Acid Rap.
Right?
Not Acid Rap.
No. That was his actual mixtape. That was back in the day. His newest one. It was called Chance 3, but it wasn't called Chance 3. But he has the hat with the 3 on it.
Yeah.
You know what album I'm talking about? It's on Apple.
Okay.
And that is considered a mixtape because that goes off of the Acid Rap, and then there was, I forgot what this other one is, and that's supposedly a mixtape, but it's on, you pay for it, and there's a whole nother conversation about Chance. Supposedly he's independent, but that's not the convo. All right. Like the newest dedication.
Yeah.
I forgot what dedication he's on now. But Lil Wayne, his newest. I don't know if have you heard it?
Not the newest one.
It's the one where he has a song on there with Drake. But that I think that kind of falls into the mixtape category because it's not on Apple. It did drop on Dat Piff, and it is he keeps the same formula that all his other dedications. He uses different other
rappers' beats,
yeah,
and then he puts his own.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I've been to Dat Piff a lot lately. You know, I always go on there, and the albums that I see on Apple are on Dat Piff, like albums,
right? Okay, but like if you can do that, like if you can put an album on Dat Piff because people stream that, why wouldn't you throw it on there? For the people that don't have the Apples, for the Spotify's, if you have Dat Piff.
So you think people are out here not with no Spotify and no Apple and just Dat Piff
and SoundCloud? I think so. Yo, let us know if you don't have Apple or Spotify. Let us know, please. I want to see that. I'm pretty sure
who doesn't have Apple or Spotify these days?
I mean,
or Tidal. Tidal's another big one. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
If you guys know anybody who doesn't have that, let us know, please. At HH Cloverleaf, please.
Like the last time I went on Dat Piff, I saw the Moneybagg Yo album on there. Like what? Like that's not a mixtape,
right? Yeah.
That's
But do you think like the person running Dat Piff is like, okay, wait, this is the album? Nope, not putting it out there.
I miss the days of when you go on Dat Piff and you see actual mixtapes. Like you couldn't get them anywhere else. They're on Dat Piff. You have to download them. Those were mixtapes. Like the real, quote unquote, the real mixtape era. Well, I don't know when it died, man. I want to say it died around 2010, 2011. I think that was the last one because I remember the acid rap, I think, was 2010 or 2009. And those were like the last like mixtapes that I remember. The ASAP one that had Trilla on there, and I forgot. Yeah, that was a great mixtape. Yeah,
Long Live ASAP.
Yeah. That mixtape was dope.
Yeah,
but that was an actual mixtape. But that was like the last that I can remember. That era. So I think ever since then, I think mixtapes died.
Okay,
they really died. But I want to ask, what are some of the earliest mixtapes that you remember listening to?
Ooh, that's a great question. I remember some of the first ones. A Kid Named Cudi. That one is probably one of my all-time favorite Cudis mixtapes. Well, just in general. I mean, let's take the shot real quick.
Let's take a shot.
To mixtapes.
To mixtapes.
Yeah. To mixtapes being half dead, half alive.
You were saying?
A Kid Named Cudi. No Ceilings. Those are like the main two that I really got into as far as mixtapes.
No Ceilings. Whew.
Yeah. I think like Lil Wayne just kills those mixtapes, yo. When he doesn't have to follow any specific, you know what I mean? Like albums are like more for hits or for the masses.
It's more like you have to think about it. You really have to put out something, you have to really think about what people are going to want to hear, all that. Yeah, like
mixtapes is like you can just go off. You say whatever you want. So I think Wayne mixtape is totally different beast. But that's what I remember. A Kid Named Cudi and No Ceilings. What
are some of your favorite mixtapes?
Summertime Shootouts. Fabolous
has some dope mixtapes.
Yes, I like Loso.
He's one of the early ones too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I actually have a vinyl of one of his early mixtapes. I
saw that.
Yeah,
I was helping you put it up. Well, I was watching you put it up.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you remember? What's some of your favorite mixtapes?
Earliest mixtapes, huh? Let me see. Damn, I asked you this, and I don't even know some of my earliest ones. I'm trying to think.
Datpiff.com, world premiere.
Datpiff.com. I remember early 50 ones for sure. I was listening to. Some Fabolous ones for sure. Fab is one of my favorite rappers, by the way. I think that nobody really has him in their top 5.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
What else? Wayne for sure. I want to say, The Game had some dope mixtapes. Who else had some mixtapes? I don't know. Those are some of the earliest ones that I remember.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite ones, I think Fab had. I think his soul tapes, all three of them are to me they're amazing. For Wayne, I think No Ceilings is one of my top ones. Dedication, I think it's 3. I think I think is on. He has so many. I think that's
true.
one of my favorite
Yeah.
ones. Some other mixtapes. Well, for the longest time, I always thought that Kendrick's Section 80 was a mixtape,
Is it not?
but it's his debut album. It's his debut studio album, but it's not his major label debut studio album. It was
okay.
independent. Yeah, it was just a CD. But yeah, if that's considered a mixtape, I'll throw that one in there. Damn, let me see some of my favorite ones. Yeah, I'd have to see some other ones, but those are some of the ones that I can remember. But let's get in, who has the best mixtape catalog? I know there's not one answer, but
I'm saying Wayne.
you're saying Wayne.
I'm
has
saying
the best
Wayne has the
mixtape?
best. Wayne or Fabulous. I think those two go head to head. I don't know.
Wayne or Fab?
I feel like I think it's Wayne.
You think it's Wayne?
I think it's Wayne.
So what are some of your favorite Wayne ones? I know you said Dedication. Oh no,
I
you
said
said No Ceilings. You
I said no ceilings. I think No Ceilings takes it for me. I don't know. There's certain mixtapes, certain albums that that I think about. There's certain time periods where like I just stick to things, and there's certain albums that you know what I mean. Like you tie it to a certain period in your life, and you kind of go through life with that album.
Yeah.
And for me, No Ceilings was like one of the best mixtapes for me. I just remember it's like Swag Surfing. What are some other songs on there? He's got a couple that I don't know. That's just for me. That's just what's stuck.
All right, I'm just remembering some other ones. The earlier mixtapes, I just want to throw out some out because these are like there's iconic mixtapes. Wiz Khalifa had the Cushion Orange Juice. That one was
okay.
That was a great mixtape. One of my favorite.
Okay,
ones,
so
for sure.
what if they started as mixtapes and then now they're on Apple Music?
Oh, that's different because that's different.
Oh, that's different.
That is different because you see it today. Like people, like I think Lil Wayne did that. He put one of his older mixtapes. No Ceilings. No Ceilings put it on there.
That he put
Which
like
one?
a lot of unreleased stuff. Well, not mixtape, but they put a lot of unreleased.
No, yeah,
Quote,
but that's the thing. Now, since the game changed, it's now streaming services. They're saying, "Oh, look, my fans loved my early mixtape, like my actual when they were actual mixtapes.
Yeah.
Let me slap this on Apple for them so they can actually hear it." Because nobody going on, like not a lot of people are downloading actual mixtapes anymore. And it's just more money for them. That's why they're doing it. Yeah, and that's what they're doing it. All right, Wale has some dope mixtapes for me.
Mixtape About Nothing.
The Mixtape About Nothing is amazing. More About Nothing was my favorite Wale mixtape ever. It's
Mac Miller has some good mixtapes.
Yeah, Mac
Faces.
Miller.
I remember we did like a dissection on Faces. We haven't put it out.
Oh yeah,
I don't think we did. But man, dude, that one just going through that mixtape was eye opening for me. That was insane.
Oh, Cam, the Purple mixtape. That one was a crazy one too. Oh, he definitely had some of. Oh, we touched on 1999. Someone mentioned it.
Yeah, Tony. No, Tony Vegas didn't bring it up, but he said that was the best answer. I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, that's a slept on one. I mean, taking it back to the DJs we were talking about, DJ Green Lantern had some. He would always put mixtapes and put all the hottest artists, all the dope artists. I know, like 50 was all over that. Eminem was all over those. Jay-Z, all the popping artists that were going around.
I know it's not a mixtape, but you know what I do like when you showed me this is when they mix beats with different artists. I think.
The
Kendrick
the
and
Damn Chronic or something.
Yeah. Well, they put like Chronic beats with Kendrick verses from Damn,
or either,
and they mix them together, and then like it sounds pretty natural. Like, it sounds really cool.
That's a talent too. Like,
yes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you know what I was listening to? I was listening to Mustard's 10 Summers, and he has an album, right? So that album, he has a bunch of different artists, YG, Nipsey, Dom, like he puts all that same thing, and that reminded me of the Khaled episode we had last week. And I'm like, bro, like Khaled is not the only one doing this.
2 weeks ago.
Is that 2 weeks? Oh yeah, 2 weeks ago. That's what I said. 2 weeks ago. But like Khaled isn't the only one who does it. Like other people do it. And it's crazy. Like you said, it's a talent, and people have to have that ear for it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I want to mention this is how I first got into Isaiah Rashad, his Sylvia demo mixtape. That one was I remember I was like in high school when I heard this, and I would always be slapping that. I had a Honda, like I forgot what kind of Honda I had, but I would slap it with some nasty speakers, like bad nasty.
Yeah.
But I would just slap it anyway.
Like you could hear the rattling and stuff. Yeah. Hey, bro, but you had a car. You had a car.
Mika Mill, the Dream Chasers mixtapes.
Okay.
I liked like one or two of those. Drake So Far Gone.
Wow, that was a good one too. Yeah.
Mixtape.
Okay.
I don't even have to say nothing about that one.
Yep.
I think Migos had some good. They got popping off their early.
I think
mixtapes.
YRN. I think is what it was called.
Yeah. Oh, and I can't forget Future.
Future.
Future had some.
Yeah.
He had some classic mixtapes.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy because like for Future, I feel like I got into Future kind of late. Well, I remember just when like that sound was turning into that, I wasn't about it at first. I was like, nah, dude, nope, I don't like it. But gosh, bro, just like as time goes on, you're like, damn, this is hot. This is good, man. It's funny because like you don't have to accept it, but I feel like, especially like us, you know, we were trying to be open to a lot of different things, and it's funny what grows on you and what doesn't. What's something that grew on you that you never thought you would like?
Ooh.
Okay, well, we can talk about a specific artist. Like, is there somebody
artist?
somebody?
I think for me right now, that's I think it's Tyler the Creator.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think just recently I've been grown to appreciate him a little bit more. When he first came out, I definitely didn't like him at all. It took I think it took to the Igor album for me to be like, even though the album's not really like rap,
Right.
but
just appreciate his artistry.
Yeah. And
like
I
what he
remember you
does.
telling me, what's the
Flower
previous
Boy.
album?
Flower Boy.
Yeah. And I've been back to I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I've listened to some of it, and I'm like, okay, like, all right, I'm more open to him now. Like,
Right.
Yeah, he definitely has a talent, man, and it's cool because I've gone back to his earlier albums, even though I didn't really like them. It's dope to see that he produced a lot of them. He has an ear for that, and even though the beats are kind of crazy, and his lyrics are the same, like, I don't know, like I've appreciated him more. So Tyler, that is that for me. I'm trying to think of some other ones.
I think I mentioned it 2 weeks ago. Young Thug. I used to hate Young Thug.
Oh yeah.
I gave someone so much shit for it. Like, yo, you got Young Thug. I'm like, bro, what? Look at my face.
I just remembered.
But now I like Young Thug.
You were saying, you asked me earlier. What about artists that put their old mixtapes onto streaming services?
Yes.
Nicki Minaj just did that like last week. She put out.
Oh yeah, she did drop it on Friday.
Yeah, and that was like her early mix. Like that's how she got popping. Yeah, and she just slapped on. See, this is what they do. They slap on like one or two more songs that are new.
Yeah,
and
then call it. Yeah,
and then that's like pretty much a new album. But yeah,
an old new album, kind of like
yeah.
the car you just said, an old new car.
Yeah, the old new car. Yeah. Did you ever listen to Danny Brown?
No.
He had a couple mixtapes early in the days that I was never really into him either, but I know that he was popping back then. But yeah, those are some of the mixtapes that I remember. Now back to the question: who has the best mixtape catalog? You said Lil Wayne.
Yes.
I want to answer this.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with 50. I'm gonna go with 50.
Okay.
I have to go with 50.
Cool.
I can't really think of anybody besides Wayne. Wayne definitely gives him a run for his money.
I think like he just has so many songs, so many bars that like it's hard to compete with that.
Yeah, and I think the last question is kind of the same, but who had the best mixtape run? And I think you got to throw Wayne in there. You got to throw 50 in there.
What's crazy? I think even when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, super successful album. That album still slaps today.
One of the best debuts ever,
right?
To me.
50 still came out like 2 weeks later with another mixtape.
Yeah.
Like he just
yeah.
kept pumping out music. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Like just this, the work and the dedication that these artists put into the music is dedication. All right, it's insane, man.
It's insane, man.
Let us know what your favorite mixtapes are. Make sure you add us at HH Cloverleaf on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All right, so we're gonna finish up the episode with Sleeperz, but this is mixtape edition.
Yeah,
So
it's a good one.
yeah, I think so too. There's a lot of good mixtapes out there that I think are slept on. Easy, what about you? What you got? What are your picks? What are your mixtape sleeper picks?
My sleeper picks for mixtapes. The first one I'm gonna name is California Republic, and that's by The Game. I think that's a very slept on mixtape. One of my favorite Game mixtapes for sure. It's dope. It's really, really dope. You guys should check that out. Another one, it's also by The Game, Purp and Patron. 1 and 2, because there was the other one. There was 2 of those, and I think those are amazing. He has some great features on there, and I think it's dope. And like you said, I think the reason why mixtapes are dope is because they're just very free format. Like they can get anybody on there. They don't have to clear no samples, nothing. And I think that's very dope. Another sleeper for me is More About Nothing by Wale. That one I think is it's slept on for sure. I don't think a lot of people have that in their top mixtapes for sure. And then another one, last one for me, it's gonna be, well, this is a group of mixtapes. I think the Soul Tapes by Fab, I think, are slept on. I think those are slept on.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna throw in another one by Fab. It's Street Dreams 2. That's another slept on. It's one of my favorite. You know what? I'm gonna throw in one more Fab one. I'm just remembering. It's also the Friday Night Freestyles. Those are dope. Really, really dope. I think you guys should check those out, man.
Friday Night Freestyles. Who's that by?
It's by Fabolous. Yeah,
by Loso. In case you don't know,
that mixtape is pretty much like a bunch of freestyles that he's done, and he grabbed a bunch of different rappers and they went over like classic beats. I remember he has a few songs on there with Joe Budden that are dope. And those are classic mixtapes to me. Well, not classics, but they're sleepers. They're sleepers.
Gotcha.
And I do want to mention also, earlier in the show, I just remembered some other mixtapes that are my favorite. I forgot to mention these, and I think they should be mentioned. Yeah. I think Kids by Mac Miller. One of my favorite. I'm telling you, I'm just remembering other ones. Like, what?
It's hard because, like, since Apple doesn't have a lot of these, or Spotify doesn't have, like, sometimes you forget about them. Yeah. It's easy because, like, for me, I don't want to, I used to, have the time and the drive to be able to, like, all right, I want to sit down and look for new music. So I would do all that. But now it's kind of like, all right, if it's not on Apple, I don't want to listen to it.
I feel that. And another one is Friday Night Lights, J. Cole. That one's one of my favorite J. Cole projects ever. And then the last one is OD, of course, by Kendrick Lamar. I think one of my favorite K-Dot albums for sure, or mixtapes. But yeah, those are my choices. So, what are yours?
Sleepers? For sleepers, there's one that I don't think anybody knows this one, but RJ and Choice. It's called Rich Off Mackin. And it wasn't too long, but I just remember, I forgot what song I came across from RJ, but I remember I had my car with like really nice speakers in it, and all his songs was just bumped in that. So
RJ Choice, that's his name?
RJ is his name.
Oh, is that RJ?
RJ
from Cali?
Yeah. I like that. I think Monster. Like other people, I don't want to say it's a sleeper.
It's not a sleeper.
It's not a sleeper.
That is not a sleeper.
I mean, fuck, I'm gonna throw it in there just cause I want to.
The sleeper that's not a sleeper.
The sleeper that's not a sleeper. And I knew you were gonna say that too. I just wanted to throw that in there. I just wanted to throw that in there.
It's all good.
And then, well, you took 2 of mine. You took the Kids, and then you also took the Soul Tapes. So you know what? I'm gonna mix it up.
It's not my sleeper. It's just one of my favorite ones.
I'm not gonna throw in Soul Tape. I'll put in Summertime Shootout 1. I don't know what it is, man. I think my boy Kel introduced me to that one.
That's a great mixtape.
And
I like it better than the second one.
I agree. I think the first one just came
Or the third one.
with a better. I really like 3, but I just like, to me that was more an album and not a mixtape. But the first one, I think, just the first idea of this summertime shootout. So all the songs had to do with something, being hot, and then like in the summer, the shit's going on. It's crazy, dude. Like I really like that because it started out with like a storyline, and it just kept going and it kept the same theme throughout, and every song transitioned into something else, and that's what I really liked about that mixtape. And then I guess the last one. I don't think this one is slept on either, but A Kid Named Cudi. I just think, like, when I couldn't find songs, like, I looked for those. I purposely looked for those songs recently just because I can't find them anywhere, right? So I have to go look on DatPiff. But you know what I mean? Like, when I first started putting music on my iPod or my PS3, like, those are the songs that were my go-tos. Like, I would go to that because I knew people couldn't find this right off the bat. Like, you'd have to do some digging to find that. And I think that's Cudi's I think that's his best work. For me, I think
His
that's
best work.
I think so.
Out of all of the Man in the Moons,
I think A Kid Named Cudi just, like, I think that was more of his rapping side. It's more like hip hop, like more not traditional, but I think Man on the Moon, like, that's his own lane. That's Cudi. Damn. See, like, that's hard now. But I don't know. I think just A Kid Named Cudi, for me, it just, like, that was the start of. There was the introduction to Cudi, and then that's what made me appreciate Man on the Moons, is because of those mixtapes.
08 to like 09 Cudi is something else.
Yeah. Switching Lanes. That song Switching Lanes. I don't it's not on A Kid Named Cudi, but it's not. But dude, that's such good stuff, man. I'm gonna go listen to Cudi right now. All Cudi cuts.
That was sleeper editions that weren't sleepers, mixtapes.
Mixtapes. Tell us what mixtapes you think are slept on. Add us at HH Cloverleaf on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So that was our show. We want to say thank you to the listeners, where we touched on the question of the day. We had a hip-hop discussion. Are mixtapes dead? And we had a Sleeperz mixtape edition. Make sure you subscribe to our pod if you like what you hear. Recommend it to your friends or fam or anybody who might be interested.
Make sure to tune in next week for a brand new episode where we're going to go over some famous graffiti murals around the world. Shout out to all the hip-hop heads. Shout out to all the listeners, all of our followers. Shout out to everybody who rocks with us. We really appreciate you. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you are here with us, and we appreciate that. This is Hip-Hop Cloverleaf. Peace.
It's easier now.